But let's get into it, man. Jason Tatum goes off for 54 last night. LeBron goes 56 the other night. What do you guys thoughts on what's going on around the league right now between LeBron being in his 19th year and Jason Tatum showing that he is that guy? Anybody can start. I just want to hear some opinions.
Jason, well, I mean, the league is in good hands. Number one. Um, dang it,
Amen.
I just lost in chess. I'm upset.
Yeah.
But the league is in good hands, and Jason Tatum. I'm kind of happy for the Celtics and Jason Tatum in general because everybody was on Nate. Can I curse in this one or no?
Yes, you can.
Yes, yes, yes.
Everybody was on their ass, bro. Like everybody, yeah, sorry. Everybody was on their ass, bro. Especially Jason Tatum and the way that they're turning things around, silencing all the doubters. Jason Tatum getting that respect back. Like, come on, bro. Y'all not gonna sit here and tell me Jaylen Brown better than Jason Tatum, bro.
He is, and I stand on that.
Stop playing, Josh.
I
No, I'm
Go
can't.
dead
ahead.
serious. Jalen Brown is
Go
better
ahead.
than Tatum slightly. If you
Explain.
watch Tatum play, like to me at least, Jalen Brown's the better defender. Yes, Tatum is a better shot creator, but he also takes a lot of bad shots. We have seen Jalen Brown shine without Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum
Likewise,
is the more talented player. I understand that. But if I had to pick one of them, I'm choosing Brown.
Just for what? Defense?
Defense, I think he has a smarter shot selection. He's the better player. I feel like it's easier to build around Brown than it is with Tatum.
So do you think that Jaylen Brown could be able to get the shots that he's getting off now without Jason Tatum being there?
Yeah. They're
I
like the
don't think so.
they're like the same player. They're similar players.
I think Jason Tatum and his game could correlate well with anybody else on any team, and he doesn't have to rely on anybody else to get his shots off. With Jaylen Brown, is like Jaylen Brown, he benefits from Jason Tatum being there as well. I just think it will just be harder to build around him, just because you ever heard of it factor?
Yeah.
I just think Jason Tatum has it. Like he just has it. Whatever it is, he has it. I don't get that same feeling from Jaylen Brown at all. I
Then Jalen Brown dropped like I think it was a 40 piece early in the season with no Tatum.
He did, but he's still, to me, he just doesn't have it.
agreed.
Uh,
I,
Do you guys think that Jalen Brown is an alpha dog? Because in my mind, Jason Tatum is 100% a alpha dog.
I think Jalen Brown is sort of alpha. I don't know if he's 100% of alpha, but I do think it's not a real gap yet. I mean, Tatum can go off. We see he's the more special player. We can all
Hmm.
probably see that. But I do think Jalen Brown is a slightly better defender. I think Jason
Mhm.
Tatum done showed me enough this year to take away that as a huge go-to for Jalen Brown. Like I used to go to that for Jalen Brown a lot, defense. But I think Tatum has stepped up his defense this year, and he's always been the best offensive player, so better offensive player. So I don't agree with Josh as far as Brown being the better player. I never thought he was the better player. I think Tatum just coming more into his own this year. Truly, he's showing me enough that I'm more confident in saying he's the best player on the team.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny because I'm a Boston fan. I kind of I understand like when people say like they can be one and the same, but I see their games as totally two different. Yeah, they can do the same thing, and sometimes they wind up doing the same thing for Boston. But when you look in that tier and who's the better player, I'm definitely taking Tatum. But I do kind of agree with Dub. I don't know what type of player Brown would be like full time without a caliber player like Tatum next to him because it's all we seen. Like, yeah, we see games with them both play by themselves when the other player's out. But how can Brown carry a team by himself? And the same question for Tatum, can Tatum actually carry a team without Brown there?
Mars
I
says
think,
JV ain't a better defender.
yep,
Yeah, I
yeah.
put it up on the
but
screen. I'll
that's
pop it back
true.
up.
That's actually very true. Like Jason Tatum, like Jaylen Brown's probably a better perimeter defender, but Jason Tatum is like very versatile as
Shout out
well. Like
Mars, one up.
he could run the floor. He stretches the floor out for the guys and creates mismatches. Like it's very beneficial. And Jaylen Brown is like this. Jaylen Brown as a role player, and I can see why people side with Jaylen Brown more. As a role player, you could pluck him in and out of like situations easier than Jason Tatum. But just because you could do that doesn't necessarily mean he's just a better player. Like my thing with Paul George and Jimmy Butler. Paul George, I could pluck Paul George in and out of multiple situations, be completely fine. Don't mean that I think he's the better player. He's just easier for him to get off with other people on more variety of teams than Jimmy Butler.
Wait, so I have a question for Josh. So for me, I think that when Jaylen Brown is in the position that he's in, and he doesn't have to be the number one option, and he doesn't have to carry the load or whatever, in the spot that he's in, I think that's when he's going to be like at his maximized potential or whatever, right? Do you think he would shine more or even bring out a better player in himself if he, is in a position where he is like the main option, like, and he does have to carry the load for the team?
I think he can, because we saw this jump from Jaylen Brown. Nobody projected him to be this player he is now. He was just supposed to be like a great defender, a 3-and-D type of player. And then he takes this dramatic jump, and now we're seeing a great player. So I think he can carry the load as a number one option if given the opportunity.
Better than Jason Tatum. Because that's the question. I'm not saying that Jaylen Brown can't do that. I'm saying I'm riding with Jason Tatum more than Jaylen Brown.
It's hard to say because we haven't seen like 100% one of them just carrying the team, the load by themselves.
Listen, I don't think Jaylen Brown in any year is doing what Jason Tatum did against LeBron James in his rookie year. I don't see Jaylen Brown ever doing that.
And then I have another question. What do you guys think about, so now after just seeing this impressive performance, how far can they take that? Do you think they can be consistent with that over the course of a 7-game series? Because last episode we were talking, I was hating on Boston, saying they're not making it out of the first round. And then last night happened.
Tried to tell them.
And now I don't know. Now I'm not so sure, because can Jason Tatum do that on a more consistent basis in a playoff setting over a course of 7 games? That's a tall order. But the thing is, he does have Brown, so even if he falls off slightly and then Brown just fills that gap, like, is that enough? So what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, it all depends for me still. It depends on who they play, honestly, because they can catch a team like the Bulls, who I think they could beat in a 7-game series. But if they catch one of the top dogs in the first round, then they're gone. Milwaukee, Miami, any of those teams are probably going to beat them.
See, I think we could surprise one of those teams. So you sleep on Boston.
I ain't sleep.
That defense, they could turn up. And like Jason Tatum said in that post-game interview last night, like they're the first line of defense is their defense. If they could come out and play defense, bro, they're a hard team to stop. They are.
Yep.
They are. Boston is. And I don't care who we match up against. And I'm not saying we could beat those teams outright. I'm not saying we're better than them. But you come in there with that slight little Z on your head, and we're going to put you to bed. We're going to put you right to bed.